And if I could, I would like to bring up at this point CatBoy and give us his insight on everything. And anybody else that wants to come up on side, please. Good night, Dick. Yes, give me a holler, and we'll get you up here on stage because we got a lot of air to fill.
Here we go.
Hey,
Hello,
CatBoy.
everybody. Hello. Yeah, I'm trying to dress like Dorothy because I went to show and tell, and the first thing everyone does there is drop a house on everyone's head. Anyway, you hear about the mathematician who is afraid of negative numbers? Apparently, he will stop at nothing to avoid them.
There you go.
Okay, now, for those of you who are real mathematicians, here's the second part of that joke. See if you get this. When he got to the root of the problem, it turns out it was all imaginary.
There you go.
But everyone's going to get that. Okay, in the news, billionaire with a shitty hairpiece wants to be the center of attention again. Great big surprise. Donald Trump announced his candidacy for president of the United States. CNN gave him coverage for that lasted over an hour. He ranted on the camera. Meanwhile, in Canada, someone who actually stands a chance of becoming prime minister gave his speech today at the exact same time and only ran for 20 minutes. Because, you know, it doesn't take that long to tell everyone that Stephen Harper is a butthead. But, strangely, my objection to Justin Trudeau becoming prime minister is exactly the same as my objection to Matt Smith becoming Doctor Who. It feels really strange to have one that's younger than I am.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That feels just weird. That feels not right. Anyway, Donald Trump's latest jab at Obama is that he's failed to provide documents proving that he is not a reptile person. If the White House is actually dumb enough to respond, you just know what they'll do is Trump will arrange to have the DNA samples switched just so he can make erroneous claims, but he's going to screw it up. Like he'll get on TV and say, according to our DNA test, Barack Obama is one of my 17 illegitimate children. Oh, knew I shouldn't have slept with Miss Iowa. In the meantime, the Learning Channel has announced a new reality TV series about Donald Trump being a lizard person. Has anyone seen his face? Did you see that coverage? Holy moly, he is not looking good. Anyway, Donald Trump claims that he knows how to defeat ISIS, but he's not telling. I'm not telling. That'll be good news for him after he loses, because he could just look at America playing, well, I guess you all didn't want to get blown out by ISIS then. Screw you guys. I'm going home and I'm taking my hairpiece with me. Man's emotional security of a 6-year-old. Anyway, let's give you some strange news here. Catholic Magazine performed a study where they found that more than half the children who self-identified as Catholic no longer identify as religious when they turn 20. Well, duh. That's because half of them moved out, didn't they? The other half are still living at home, is what happened there. Just goes to show that, these kids never really self-identified as Catholic. They were just saying, you're just doing what they're told as children. It's like, tell the nice poll taker you're Catholic, dear. Yes, Mommy. When you finally move out, you can listen to your Marilyn Manson albums in peace without people judging you.
Catholic Girl syndrome.
Yeah. What's happening in Saudi Arabia? Today, Saudi Arabia announced they broke a record in chopping the heads off of 100 people this year. Woo! Yay! No applause? Okay. They hope to break the record again next year, as they just recently criminalized apostasy with the death penalty, and atheism, if you look it up, is on the rise in Saudi Arabia. When officials were asked about breaking the record again next year, they said, we have high hopes, but it's nothing to lose your head over. Okay, I got a joke for you. I went to see the doctor the other day for a checkup, and after the examination, he tells me I have to stop masturbating. I said, why do I have to stop masturbating? He says, because I'm trying to examine you. Oh. Okay, now I went on to Reddit the other day, and someone came up with this excellent list of annoying questions. What are the most annoying questions that people have to come up with? And here are the best responses that I found for most annoying questions that people get. And you probably can relate to these. You probably heard these all the time, or at least some of you. And that is, I love this one. Do you have a girlfriend yet? This is particularly annoying to boys that have already come out as gay to their parents like 7 or 8 times. It's like, when are you going to get it? And that's what leads to the second most annoying question of all time. Are you still gay? Like, what? It's not like the flu, people.
Not something you get over.
Yeah, I know. And here's a third one. I have lots of friends who complain about this one from their parents. All of these come from your parents. So when are you having kids? Most of these annoying questions come from parents. That's not a coincidence. I'll have children when I get sick and tired of sick and tired of two things: sleep and money. You don't get tired of those things.
Amen.
Okay. Oh, and here's one a lot of people can relate to today. Fourth most annoying question: what are you doing after university? Yeah, thanks for reminding me of the life I have to look forward to, working in a McDonald's assistant manager and trying to pay off decades of student loan debt. Thank you very much for that. Here's one. I don't get this one, but I think thin people can rely. Why are you so skinny? Nobody ever asks, why are you a fat bastard? But they feel free to, they always feel free to, like, why are you so skinny? I don't know. Why are you fat? Oh, here's one. I like this one. This is one I could personally relate to, is why are you so quiet? Well, I'm sitting here quietly because I'm hoping like hell some nosy, intrusive jerk bugs me about it. That's why I'm so quiet. Okay, now at the very end, these are the most annoying questions that my parents ask me all the time. I get this all the time. Like, how do I turn on this TV again? Hate that. Learn how to use a TV. Where are my glasses? Did I take my pills? How should I know if you took your pills? How do I get the Skype thing to work on my iPod? And that's a classic. I love it. How do I get the Skype thing to work on my
You figure that now, let me know.
Oh, God. And one thing I always is whenever you are just about to, like, oh, I'm going out, I'm doing something, and just as you're about to leave the house, they always ask you a question like, oh, just before you go, can you paint the house? Oh, yeah. Paint the house.
God, yes.
You know, we'll tile the roof, mow the lawn. That'll take you 5 minutes. Everything takes 5 minutes, according to them. Because that's all they can remember. You see, their brain just sort of, everything just sort of goes... 5 minutes. Yeah, it's like, you know, you could be working something for hours and you won't remember it. So it's like, oh yeah, of course it takes 5 minutes. Okay, I got a new joke for you. Here's a joke. A guy was driving along a road in Utah, comes across a Navajo Indian hitchhiking, decides to give the man a ride. The Indian is very quiet. He tries to stir up a conversation with him, but nothing works. Right? So, eventually, he had a box sitting in between them. The Navajo Indian finally says something. He says, "What is in box?" And the guy says, "Oh, that's a box of chocolates. I got it from my wife." Right? The Navajo Indian just nods approvingly, going, good trade."
That was actually funny.
Okay, now here's some brand new things have been happening. We've been hearing about some new TV shows. Has anyone here been following what's going on with the TV show Top Gear, where Jeremy Clarkson got kicked off the show? One of the most popular shows in the world. I don't know if you guys watch it.
I have heard about it, but I never heard the reason.
You heard it? Okay, well, Jeremy Clarkson got into a fight with a producer, and the whole thing blew up much more out of control than it needed to be. BBC decided to shoot itself in the foot and fire Jeremy Clarkson. This is a $350 million a year TV show that's making money. BBC decided just to fire because they can't put up with Jeremy Clarkson anymore. So they just announced that they have a new host for the Top Gear show. By the way, the co-hosts, Richard Hammond and James May, they're also leaving. They're saying we either work with Jeremy Clarkson or not at all. They're leaving. There's a rumor that Netflix is picking them up. So that's a good thing, possibly. But the BBC is hanging on to Top Gear, and they have a brand new host, and this got a lot of people really excited. They announced that Chris Evans is going to be the new host, and of course everyone is going, "Oh my God, Chris Evans, that super handsome guy from Marvel's Avengers." Not quite. There's a British comedian called Chris Evans who's goofy looking, wears glasses, and he's a ginger. So sorry. What do gingers miss most about a great party? The invitation. Oh, Dublin had a ginger festival. It didn't go down well. Not a single soul showed up. Okay, I know the gingers get a hard time for not having souls. I've heard an interesting solution to this, actually. This is good. Gingers out there want to remember this. If anyone keeps bugging you about not having souls, just say, "You're a ginger. That's not really true." And then you tell them, you gain a freckle every single time you steal a soul. That sounds good. That'll shut him up. Okay, brand new joke for it. Two men were walking home after a party and decided to take a shortcut through a cemetery just for, laughs and giggles. Right in the middle of the cemetery, they were startled by a tap, tap, tap noise. There's this tap noise. Where's that coming from? It's coming from the shadows. Trembling with fear, they found an old man with a hammer and a chisel chipping away at one of the tombstones. And they're scared as hell, and they go, "Holy cow, mister!" One of them said after catching his breath, "You scared us half to death. We thought you were a ghost. What are you doing here working late at night?" And it was a ghost. And he says, "Those fools, they misspelled my name." You see, he was a ghost writer. Okay. All right. And last big thing happening in the news, last thing I have to tell you about the news, did everyone know about Rachel Dolezal? Rachel Dolezal, president of the NAACP, Spokane, Washington, was outed as white by her parents. Imagine it being outed from your assumed identity had become a thing, especially here in Second Life. Like my mom comes running through here. She says, "He's not really a CatBoy in a maid outfit. He's a fat bastard in khaki shorts. He's a fraud." I might identify as a CatBoy in a cocktail dress or a maid outfit, but I know where to draw the line in real life because I don't want to get my ass getting thrown out of maid cafes. I have enough hardship to deal with. And that's all I have for today, everybody.
Yay!
And where's my walk thingy? Okay, I lost my cursor. There we go. Here we go.